So the new Pokemon Champions is free to play, but if you want to play with Eternal Floette, you need to have Pokemon Legends CA. That's the only way to get it. But I'm going to show you today how to get it for free. Hey everybody, my name is Hangry. Alright, so in the first weeks of Pokemon Champions, there was a dilemma with Pokemon Legends CA and people wanting to use Eternal Floette. In the first few weeks, one of the first teams that went quote-unquote viral, or like that a lot of people were playing it because it was so good, had Mega Charizard Y and Floette, so everybody wanted a Floette. But Eternal Floette, you need to complete the story for Legends CA, and if you don't have the game or don't have the money for it, then you can't play it on Pokemon Champions. Today I'm going to show you a way where you can get it actually for free. So if you have Pokemon Home on you go create an account. I believe they have free accounts, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to assume here that you've played at any point between 2016 and the day you're watching this video, that you've played at least one Pokemon Community Day in Pokemon Go. And I'm going to assume you have a bunch of leftover and duplicate Shinies. Community Day, the shiny odds are way better than full odds, right? And you usually are left over with a bunch. Like you can get the 3 evolutions if you're like doing a live index in Pokemon Go, and you would still probably have leftover to trade, and you would probably still have a bunch. Like I've had community days where I've gotten 10 shinies while playing the whole community day, right? In Pokemon Home, what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your shiny Pokemon as trade to get an Eternal Floette. And you're gonna say, why would someone trade their Eternal Floette, which they paid $60 to $70 and invested hours in the game to get it? And to that, I say, let me show you. So you're gonna go look in your Pokemon Go app. You're gonna check which shinies do I have that are desirable, popular, or straight up meta in Pokemon Champions. Here I choose a Dratini and I evolve it to a Dragonite because shiny Dragonite is very desirable. And I used a Gardy because a lot of people use Mega Gardevoir or Gardevoir in general. And Gardevoir is a very popular Pokemon, very desirable. A couple others you can do if you have any Kanto starter, even if they're in their pre-evolved form. There's a lot of people that have never had the patience to shiny hunt in general, and these people do not care for Floette, and they will trade your shiny Pokemon for their Eternal Floettes. It took me like 30 minutes to get 3 Floettes. Decide which shiny you're gonna pass to Pokemon Go. Open your Pokemon Go app on your phone. It'll prompt you to when you open the app once you've sent Pokemon there. And you're gonna go to I believe the left side of the app, and there you're gonna see GTS, which is short for Global Trading System, which we had it in Pokemon Black and White if you ever played that. And there basically you're saying, hey, I have this Pokemon. Preview will show, as I'm showing here, that it is the shiny version of the Pokemon. And you're gonna say, why do I have to go through the trouble of adding the Pokemon when I can just look up, I want an Eternal Floette, and trade for it? I'll show you why you shouldn't waste your time doing that. And it's because people are basically doing impossible trades in Pokemon Home. I don't know why they do this. They find it funny. I don't know if they're just flaunting that they have an Eternal Floette and you don't. They do it a lot with shiny Pokemon too. And with hard evolutions like Basculegion, Sirfetch'd, all these Pokemon that are gimmick evolutions that you need to do X amount of things to evolve the Pokemon. I don't know why someone would get their shiny just stuck in Pokemon Home and flaunt. You don't even, like, it doesn't show you the views or anything. Like, you don't know who's watching that, but I guess there's always been trolls, right? And that's kind of like the way you troll in Pokemon Home. Anyway, you're gonna go to GTS, you're gonna upload your Pokemon there, set it to Floette, and inform this is very important, because if not, you'll get any Floette, any just normal Floette. In form, you're gonna put Eternal Flower, I believe it says, or Eternal Floette. Whatever it says that it can travel to the language, it doesn't matter. All you want is your Floette, so you can use it in Pokemon Champions, right? So leave all that in any, but the form, very important, Eternal Floette on it. And you click yes. And you're gonna improve your odds by doing all 3 spots of the GTS with this method. It literally took me 30 minutes to get 1 Floette. Like, I put it there before I went on my morning walk, and when I came back, the Dragonite was already gone. Traded it, got a Floette. I decided to look for a Fenneking, which I have extra on my Pokemon Home, and I said, let's try with a starter. Delphox is very, very popular right now. One of the best teams in Pokemon Champions has Blastoise and Fenneking, both starters. They both have Pokemon Go community days. Why I go back to Pokemon Go? Because you probably have a surplus of shinies in there. You can try any shiny, to be honest. It'll just take a while. But if you have popular ones, it'll take at the most an hour. I put the Fenneking in there, and it literally took 2 minutes. Like, I closed the app, checked the app, Fenneking was gone, and I had a Floette. I checked like an hour later, and the Guardy was gone. I maybe pushed it with the Ghastly. I think Ghastly is a little more common. It's a common shiny. Like, you can farm it in Pokemon CA, that kind of stuff. It was very popular in XY, so a lot of people that already played Pokemon XY maybe have that shiny from back then for having Mega Gengar shiny. So maybe I pushed it a little there. But the Fenneking went flying. Guardy took like an hour, and Dragonite took like 30 minutes. That was the first one. Give it a try. I know you have a surplus of shinies. It doesn't have to be a Pokemon Go shiny. I say Pokemon Go because it's the most casual, friendly, and free game that people play, and they have shinies on there. But if you have shinies from Sword and Shield, whatever, it's the same concept. You just need popular or usable or even meta Pokemon that can be trade bait, and you're good to go with the Floette. You don't need to play Pokemon CA. You don't need to pay $70, $60 for it and go through the whole campaign if you just want to try Floette. I really didn't check if anybody had done this method before, but this is something I thought about, and I've been doing it, and I've got a couple, so I'm probably gonna give 1 or 2 away that I got for this video. So give me a follow, like and subscribe, and follow me on social media, which that's where I'll be doing the giveaway. Again, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.